Swiggity sorty, let's get that booty.
Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of the Slim Cogcast. I just want to go ahead and catch y'all up on some stuff real quick. Slight addendum about the latest episode of the reaction, bro. Episode 12 of Attack on Titan final season. Not much happened in that episode, like literally not much. It was just talking and information. This shit's about to go down in the next episode for sure, but I felt that it was no use in even putting that reaction up, so we just gonna schmooze on over to the next episode. Like, even like it was so like nothing to the point where even when you edit it and you look at it, it's like, damn, it was only like 2 what the fuck moments in this. Like, alright then, and it wasn't worth it. So yeah, let's get ready for next week's episode, AOT Sunday. And also let's go ahead and catch people up. And if you haven't seen the reaction to episode 11, go ahead and check that out on my YouTube of the reaction of Attack on Titan season final season and episode 11. Because shit gets real and it's very, very good. And some of the stuff I say is very, very insightful. So yeah, enjoy that. So let's jump right on in, and I'm gonna let you know what I've been playing this week, man. Basically, I beat the Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks finally. I got around to it, and one of the things that made it more enjoyable is that I took a long break between finishing it because I played it right after Phantom Hourglass. I'm sure I've told you before. So it can kind of skew you when you're kind of sick of the same art style, same gameplay. Like, the touch controls is not it. The only saving grace is that Spirit Tracks touch controls are a bit better than Phantom Hourglass, but it's still those touch controls that the combat is completely reliant on, and I just can't stand it. But more on that in the future. Still, the puzzles and dungeons were very inventive, innovative, and fresh to me. Very good puzzles. I haven't been stuck in a Zelda game in a long time. So yeah, good game. It's a nice shiny $100 bill covered in dog shit. Yeah, and you gotta wade through that shit to pick that dollar up. Anywho's next. What else? I've been playing A Hat in Time, and I've been enjoying myself. Like I said before, the first world, Mafia Town, was not that fun. It was meant to be a tutorial area, but it felt kind of stale to me. But the next worlds are way more interesting. The one with the birds competing to be the best entertainer or something like that. Then there's the other one with the what was it? The forest with the spirit dude that you see all over the logo of the game, but your first time being introduced to him happens when you get to the forest stage, and it's super interesting, very unique. I like the concepts that they're putting across, and I've just been enjoying myself, man. It's good stuff. Oh, and I've prepared a save file so we can fool around on the stream and actually just play a game for fun and not just for the channel, you know. We're gonna play some Final Mix Kingdom Hearts 2 just to dick around with that, you know. So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to stream that. Shit, I might do it today. Maybe. Just be on the lookout. If you want to catch that stream, follow me on Twitter and I'll let you know. But yeah, we've been playing some Kingdom Hearts, and like I said, to prepare the save file, if anybody's ever played Kingdom Hearts 2 before, the starting moment with Roxas is the slowest part of the game, and we had to get past that before we kick off. So I didn't want to do a save file that damn fresh. Like, nah, because I've known to, like, I have a bad case of falling asleep within the first 4 hours of an RPG. Alright, I doze off very easily, and it happens religiously with every RPG I start. But if I power through it, I enjoy the rest of it, and I have my fun. I don't know, maybe my brain has to like shut down and process all the information that I'm taking in or whatever, or the new battle system, depending on how complex, who knows. I'm just making up and spitballing shit. I'm not a neuroscientist. Let's get on into it. I'm not a psychologist either. Alright, so basically what I wanted to tell y'all about this week is one of the things that I've noticed, which is the first thing on the docket, that we've had a tweet go out by Dualshockers saying that we might see some Elden Ring news this year or before the year is out. And Dualshockers sources were not credible, and it seemed like just an article thrown up there. But an actual developer from in-house at FromSoft had to mention, hey, no, that's not the case. And this game will not be ready by this year. And I don't know why you said this in the first place. We are terribly behind on development because we're working remote and social distancing and COVID and whatnot, and people dealing with health issues and things like that, and trying to avoid catching the COVID. So it's like, hey, shut up. You know what I mean? And the fact that I saw that, I immediately connected the dots and realized, hey, that right there tells me that these gaming journalists are pressuring our developers by just saying shit and making people expect the game sooner when they never announced that this shit would be true. So that makes me wonder, did this happen with Cyberpunk? Because people have been anticipating the hype for Cyberpunk for almost a decade. And the fact that, you know what I mean, articles could just up and say, hey, this game might be coming this year. We might see some news on this year. And if they're all saying it, but you didn't say that, that would definitely increase the pressure on you, like, hard. And you would, like, start driving your workers like slaves at that point, because you're like, damn, everybody expects this sooner. We need to get this done. I feel like that's a certain evil we need to do away with. We do not need these people doing this type of shit. Dualshockers, I'm disappointed. That's very, very, very atrocious. And this gaming journalism's and gaming journalism's lack of transparency and or, you know, scummy business practices is one of the reasons why I've started my YouTube channel and podcast so late. I've always wanted to do this, but I after seeing the debacle with the GG thing that happened a long time ago, I became afraid of confirmation bias and how unavoidable it is, even if you're being an honest and earnest reporter. You know what I mean? So my mindset at the time was, how can I expect to be better than Kotaku when they're supposedly have these team of people and these databases and these tools in order to do their job, and I'm just one guy? You know, what if I develop a following and then betray my people by reporting on an article that didn't have proper, you know, cited works? Like, it was something that was getting at me, but I just had to look at it on the opposite side of optimism, and just say, well, let's actually the opposite side of pessimism, and say, well, if it's unavoidable, then that means that I just have to try, and hopefully they remember me for the good rather than the bad. So this is me trying. That being said, go ahead and give me a like, comment, and a subscribe, please. So yeah, let's hop into the first docket. Now, over on VideoGameChronicle.com, a leaked Elden Ring trailer is being circulated online. And basically, this leak, I avoided. I didn't want to see it. But people are saying that it's like the first significant update since we've ever heard of Elden Ring since 2019. And right here, quote says, I can only imagine what drives you to seek the Elden Ring, a narrator says in the trailer. I suppose you can't be talked into turning back very well then. You know what I mean? Sounding like something from the very start or beginning of the entire adventure or whatever. But I didn't want to look too deep into this because I don't want to spoil myself. Like I said, one of the biggest issues with modern day gaming, especially with single player games, you can't enjoy your games that are coming because it's always about, oh, here's a leak. Now that you know what to expect, let's see if this next leak is going to be better than the previous one. Oh, now we have expectations of what was leaked, and it could be worse. If you don't see the issues and the evils within leaking information on games and media, just look at Playboy Carter's career. Next, let's move on. Next on the topic in the docket. Next topic on the docket. Man, words be kicking my ass. Final Fantasy VII, the First Soldier teaser trailer. They made a battle royale for Android and iOS using the FF7 remake engine, looks like, which seems to be pretty efficient. But yeah, I mean, what else is there to say? Except why? Like, what for? The fuck for, bro? Next on the docket, y'all look at the trailer if you want. We ain't got much news this week because really nothing happened this week. But the last thing on the docket that we have is the Anthem game by BioWare under EA will be closing development and will no longer receive updates, which is a shame because Anthem in concept was so cool and I was actually hyped to play it, but it failed. I played the beta. It was close to acceptable and very good conceptually. I love the flying around mechanic, the Iron Man-esque gameplay. And I feel like what they should do is like double down and go straight into Anthem 2. Like double down, take everything that you've learned from Anthem 1 and gamble on that sequel, bro. That's what I'd do, honestly, because it's not like they had a bad game. It just had the worst launch and marketing ever. Like worst. Like I haven't seen, I don't know which one was bad, Anthem or Cyberpunk's launch. And I hate to say that about Cyberpunk because I am still positive about it. And CD Projekt, I do not hate you, and I still feel like you guys could do some amazing works, and you have in the past, and I still love you guys. And it's a shame that your marketing and business and finance sections of your business overpowered the rest of the creative decisions and the development. So yeah, so let's get down to business. Basically, this hurts me, and I have to say so with a heavy heart, but I do think the last nail in the coffin for this game's development was the panoramic. So yeah, it's too bad. Anywho's, y'all take care. This is all the interesting news. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. We gotta recap the state of play. The PlayStation state of play, or what some would call the disappointment thereof. Basically, let's just recap it. Now, when the state of play dropped, I caught it early. I knew it was coming, and I went ahead and watched it live. I had plans to stream it and or make a video on the state of play, but just like I said earlier about this week's news and more. Like, there's not much else to say about it. It's just been, I don't know. I'm just trying not to be overly negative. But basically, okay, State of Play announced the PS5 version of Crash 4. And then it went into a Returnal trailer, which honestly, me personally, it looked very uninteresting at first. But now that I know that it's got roguelike elements to it, I kind of interested. A roguelike third-person shooter would be pretty cool. So yeah, it's kind of on my radar now. And then there was Knockout City, which does look fun, and I do want to try to see how fun it actually is. Then you got Shifu, which I immediately recognized the animations from Absolver, and it's the same developers who made Absolver. And it looks great, and I can't wait to play Shifu. It looks great. I'm going to get my Ip Man on. And then we got Solar Ash, which, although a throwaway opinion by my favorite streamer Eris and a lot of other people, they are tired of the art style with the shell shading and the journey art style, etc. And I understand that, and that's a justified take. However, that is the best looking graphical art style that indie and AA studios can use without overspending on high resolution textures. So yeah, it's something that we just gotta deal with until another art style comes along to vary it up, or unless graphical or mesh shaders get applied. Graphical, when it comes to indie games, you have to make a game that's accessible to as many people as possible and as cost efficient as possible. Meaning, this is why they choose this graphic style, and this is also why they choose to, let's say, most of your AA and indie games have to be available and runnable on lower spec end machines. That means it should be available on all consoles and run on mid to low range PCs. Basically, it should be able to run on a PC that you buy out of the store. So that means that most of the time they won't push past that point. But if they do, then you'll need to have a PC that's, if it's out of store, then it'll have to be top shelf pricing. Anything beyond that needs to be custom built. And this is what Solar Ash is. They're doing what they should do as a development team. Just because they're backed by Sony doesn't mean they're going to have all the cash. So yeah, the Pathless and Solar Ash have to depend on these art styles in order to make their game affordable, bro. Anywho's, next on State of Play, real quick, the Five Nights at Freddy's. It looks interesting as it is different. I can't wait to see the gameplay, and hopefully they can animate these animatronics to look just as creepy as they did in their previous counterparts. However, y'all know how I am. Five Nights at Freddy's. I can't do horror games that makes me sit there and do nothing. It's the reason I can't do horror movies, alright? I say it once, I say it again, and I said it on the stream. If I gotta sit there and just wait for the horror, that's trash and I can't handle it and it causes anxiety. But if it's Resident Evil and I can fight back, or I can run, or I could heal myself, or anything, or go through a door, I don't care. Bro, that's infinitely better. I can't handle it when I'm helpless in the situation. So that's why I don't do horror movies like that. And it's the only reason I can do horror games. But that's also why I can't play Five Nights at Freddy's. So yeah. Oddworld Soulstorm looks good. I can't give a apt opinion on it completely because I haven't played the originals. But compared to seeing gameplay of the originals for so many years and the concepts behind it, I could tell that this is a good love letter to the fans, and I hope that it does deliver on that premise. Next was the Kenna, was it Kenna Bridge of Spirits? I think it's called. Yeah, Bridge of Spirits, which is actually looking pretty beautiful. It's looking like a Disney Pixar movie in game form. I can't wait. I'd actually be willing to play it. Not release date play it, but I'd be willing to play it. Deathloop came up next, and I am hella interested in it. Why? Because proudly the main characters are people of color. Deal with it. But also because the concept of the game is cool as shit. It's like, yo, the idea of Groundhog Day in form of an assassin versus another assassin hired to kill you, that's a sick ass concept. It's like taking Spy versus Spy combined with Groundhog Day, combined with Michael Jai White versus, I don't know, Misty Knight. Y'all don't know who Misty Knight is. But when I see a woman with an afro being a badass, I think of either Foxy Brown or Misty Knight. And Misty Knight is one of the cooler ones. But y'all don't know. Alright, anyways, if you don't know, check out Misty Knight. She's a pretty cool comic character, if you don't know. For those who are willing to check out something new. But then also they showed us on the State of Play the Final Fantasy VII gameplay, remake gameplay of Yuffie and her own little side story. And they're going to call it Remake Integrate. So basically, I feel like what they're doing right now is the plot from Crisis Core about Yuffie that Zack learns back in her hometown when they led the attack on her hometown. It was Zack who attacked her hometown with Shinra. And at that time is when Yuffie was originally met, but she was way younger at the time. So I guess they're integrating a point where she was a little older right before meeting the gang in 7 into the remake story, which is super cool. And they're introducing her comrade from her hometown. So yeah, looking pretty good. They announced the PS5 edition of Final Fantasy VII Remake, higher frame rates, higher resolution up to, I guess it said 4K, I'm not sure. And it's looking good. I mean, performance prioritizes 60 FPS frame rate, and what was the other? Yeah, 4K resolution prioritizes graphics. So likely it's going to be 4K 30 frames per second if it's set that way. Anywho, yeah, faster load times, better colors, better textures, better models. So yeah, and that's what we get. And that was the entire State of Play. So yeah, it wasn't just all that amazing, but it was worth watching at least, and that's okay. But it's some pissed off people. It's some people mad about the Nintendo Direct and the State of Play. And let's not forget the Nintendo Pokemon Direct recently. The remake of, I forget. Basically, everybody's just calling it like Genshin Impact or Breath of the Wild version of Pokemon, which I don't blame Nintendo and Game Freak. Y'all need to get that Genshin money, alright? You feel me? Don't make no gacha, goddammit. But yeah, that's what people want. They craving for it. And I feel like they testing the waters. Like they tested the waters with Sword and Shield. It was like, okay, let's give them fully 3D, explorable, you know what I'm saying, Pokemon, and see how they take to it. Now they're taking it a step further and said, I think you guys would enjoy this. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's a good premise to do. But it also feels, my own personal joke, it feels like Game Freak is just now learning how to do 3D models. So yeah. But anywho, let's wrap up this episode of the podcast, and I hope y'all enjoyed it. If you would like to see some more, or would like some recommendations of what type of content you would like to see, go ahead and leave a comment and let me know. And if you like this content, go ahead and give it a like. If you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe, please. I greatly appreciate it. Really would appreciate it. And yeah, so take care. And always remember the channel model out there, y'all. Intentions are the most important. Actions ain't nothing but loud, and words don't mean a damn thing. Love yourself, choose yourself, worth yourself. Peace. Why must it track so damn good? You have all these projectiles on the screen, and you need to track me that damn hard? Damn! Fuck!